Well, good morning, early afternoon, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. Um, it's noon on a Monday, so time to flow for a little while. Thanks for joining me. New week, new sense of hopefulness. Lots of good things have happened since the last time I saw you guys, so I'm hoping you're feeling okay, hoping you're feeling good and ready to move a little bit. This is about a 45-minute class. Usually we're done at least with 10 minutes of the hour to spare, so that if anybody needs to jump back into their workday, they do have a couple minutes to spare. And we are going to stick closer to about 45 minutes today. We are going to move, don't worry. We're going to get our bodies going, but a lot of the movement and a lot of the poses that we're going to do today are going to keep us really close to the ground. Not just symbolically as a grounding practice, but it's always nice to let that be part of any time that we start something new, right? And not that anything new is beginning at this exact moment, but there was a big shift. A shift has happened in terms of, I think, emotionally for a lot of us. There's just a little bit more room to breathe, and it feels like something is going to at least not continue on in one direction, but perhaps start heading the other. And so that's when it's great to have a grounding practice, just to remind us that all we really have to do is sit down and breathe. That's the hard part most of the time. And then adding in the movement and getting into the postures, that's all just the bonus part of having a great yoga practice, is that once you get the basics down, then it becomes much easier to feel really good in the types of movements that you're making. And oftentimes, postures that are grounding will get us feeling that way even quicker. So we're going to move, we're going to flow, but a lot of this flow will keep us relatively close to the mat. It's just a little different way of doing things, and hopefully you guys enjoy. And we're going to start in a seat. Comfortable cross-legged pose. When you are ready to begin, we'll bring the hands out front. Hello, welcome. And then just allow your body to soften, relax, and almost just kind of slump forward into this one. So no active stretching on your part. Just let the body relax. And drawing yourself physically inward and letting that be a representation of what else we're trying to accomplish here. This letting go of the outside world around us for just a little while. Starting to take that journey inward, noticing how you feel on a deeper level. How does your pranic body, your energy body, feel today? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling a little mix of both? I woke up today with a strange feeling of excitement and hopefulness, and also sort of exhaustion. And there's something to do with the weather out there too, this rapid shift from kind of where we were a few weeks ago to this lovely weather we've had the last few days, and then back into kind of a wet, humid, cooling pattern now. It takes its toll on our joints, and so we're going to focus a lot on loosening up hips, shoulders, wrists, ankles, knees, all that good stuff today as well. And while you're here, why don't you start working on your neck? Just letting your head ever so gently start swinging side to side, turning your gaze from right to left. If If you're a pretty bendy person and your forehead is all the way down on the ground, then you can rock your forehead. But for most of us, that's a lot right off the bat here. So do what feels good. If you get inspired to want to start moving, then deepen your breath. Make sure that you're focusing in more and more on steady, satisfying exhalations and making your inhales really full and deep. And then you can start walking your hands around a little, perhaps just beginning to explore some of the space in the sides of your body, taking things a little bit deeper into the lumbar, low back, the outer hips. And if it feels better to you to just stay still, then continue right where you're at, just relaxing. At some point here in the next few moments, I'll just encourage you to switch your feet. Put the other one in front, and that's just going to help us even out the hips a tad. And then drop back in and try to get just right back to where you started, where you left off. Focused on the breath, checking in with the body, making those simple observations about what you feel, how you feel. And if the body starts telling you to move, then move a little bit. If you're comfortable in one position, stay there. Challenge yourself to breathe through it. So if you're more of an energetic person, those types of things resonate more than your physical anatomy body, then today you're really going to enjoy a lot of this first, second, third chakra type of movement, things that are essentially from your sternum on down. And again, they just have that nice grounding effect. Right. When you feel like you've evened things out, you're ready to move on, you're going to pull yourself up from a seat, swing your big toes together behind you, make sure you've got some space between your knees and your thighs, and then transition back into your first big child's pose. Balasana. I wanted to include some postures today. You know, child's pose is not just a grounding pose, it's a joyful pose. Almost everyone loves this posture, right? It's because it feels very familiar. It feels like home. It reminds us of somewhat more innocent time in our lives. And so enjoy being right here. Let yourself feel like a kid. Just not a care in the world. This is a good opportunity to deepen your breath a little more if you can. Imagine that inhale running the length of your spine from the crown of your head to your tailbone. And as you exhale, tailbone back to the crown of the head. Feel your chest and your belly really starting to expand and contract. And then lift the chest just a little bit. And we'll take the left arm through first today. We're just going to scoop it right underneath. So a little bit different than doing this pose up here from tabletop, right? We're still way back in child's pose. And we're just going to lean on the outside of the left arm. Turn your gaze to the right. You've got that threaded needle variation. You can feel the compression that we're creating in the left shoulder, but we're also trying to open up the space around the back side. So think up and underneath your shoulder blade. And then on the right, keep reaching your fingertips forward so that your right arm's really long, your ribs, your chest, start opening up and lengthening. Keep the hips heavy. 3, 2, and 1. Press yourself up on a big breath in. Switch it out. Keep the hips low. Right arm slides underneath. Right ear comes down. Don't worry if you did the other side first. It's no big deal. Just make sure you get them both done here. And it really does just feel so good to exhale deeply, to just get a full breath in and a full breath out. Maybe it's been a little while since you felt that ease come with the breathing. So take advantage, couple more here. And then slowly, softly, draw your left hand in. Help yourself out of the posture. Shift your weight up. Let's come out of the hips. We'll bring the knees in. Just work your body around through a few shapes that you like to do here in tabletop. No rules. Maybe you want to move your spine. Maybe it feels good to circle your hips. If you want to do a little joint release, you can always flip your hands around or just do one hand at a time. Stretch the wrists, the forearms up to the creases of the elbows. You can always do the back side of the hand down as well and just lean in to those little tendons running from your wrist to your fingers. So use up the rest of this minute or so, just kind of letting your body work its way through some variations. And then we're going to meet up in our first downward facing dog. And there's no need to rush. You'll get there when you get there. When you do, start the same process all over again. Try pedaling your feet. Try swiveling your heels. Maybe you just need to shake out the head, the neck, the shoulders. Sometimes it feels really good to step your feet wide in your down dog and walk your hands in a little bit. And then just allow your chest to drop. Same with the head. Keep it really heavy. Whatever version you are working through, give it another moment or two. And then we're going to start right away from downward facing dog today, building on this kind of slow flow. We'll start with the right leg up when you're ready. Any version here. You can bend your knee, you can open your hip, or you can keep the hips squared and your right leg straight. That's your choice. Hold on to what you got for 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll take a look forward and we're going to take a nice, big, slow step through to a lunge. You might need a few steps to get your foot through. It's all right. Drop all the way down onto your back knee. And then let's go fists down into the ground here. Thumbs push into the mat as well. Just a nice grounding hand position. Drop your head, chin into your chest, and just lean into your right thigh. I want you to stay right there. Don't move. But think about when we do this position on our back, right? And we're squeezing this wind relieving pose. We're pulling the knee in really, really tight and making that compression. Find that same feeling here in the lunge. Yeah, right side of the low belly and internal organs are getting this detoxifying quality from leaning in. 3, 2, and 1, and then we always do the counter posture, which is just to push your butt back in space. Flex your toes for a moment. Take a slightly deeper dive now over your right shin and work the hamstrings. One breath at a time, just see how it feels. See what you need. 2, 1. Go forward and back with me a couple times. Inhale. Now you can do whatever you want with your hands. Maybe you want to come to your fingertips. Maybe you want to start adding in a little bit more for the upper body. It's up to you. Exhale, hands down, press back. Stay for the breath in. Take a slightly deeper fold on the breath out. Forward again. Shift your weight. Inhale, arms come up. If you are bothered by being on your knees and you have a blanket or something nearby that you could put under that back knee, go for it. We're going to rock this one more time. Forward and back. Inhale, take it to your lunge, arms come up. Don't be afraid to get big with this upper body variation. Let your heart open up, let it feel good. To be a little vulnerable there, hands down. Good. Press all the way back, and this time as your hips go back, angle your left heel in a little bit so that when you push back, now this time you can sit all the way down and you're going to end up with your left heel right between your glutes. So you're sitting on your foot. This is called Janu Shirshasana B. Heel is right in that Mula Bandha spot. So if you know what I'm talking about, we talk about bandhas. We're talking about all those little pelvic floor muscles way down low. That's the exact place right here, and it's a good reminder to just keep those things engaged. So Mula Bandha, lift and lock the pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha, pull your navel a little bit tighter to your spine. And now take your fold deeper on the right side. Drop in. Release any tension from your shoulders. Let your elbows hit the ground if they can. If not, that's no problem. Just stay where you're comfortable. 3, 2, and 1. On the inhale, slowly bring your chest up. Good. As you exhale, left hand is going to go out the left side of your mat, just sort of back behind you a little bit, and you're going to press up on your inhale and just stretch out that whole right side of your body. Good. So you're opened to the left. A nice long stretch from fingers to toes. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, sit back down on your heel. Forward, back over the right side. So just like we did a moment ago, now we're going to flow a few times. Bring it up on your inhale. Open out, everything nice and long. Exhale as you sit down. Square off to the front. Deep breath in. Fold on the breath out. One more time. Take it up. Inhale. Exhale, push and stretch. And drop it back down. Deep breath in as you pull the chest around. Start the length and add the depth on the fold. Hold that one for 3, 2, and 1. Take a look forward. Good. We're going to shift all the way back up into our lunge. Tuck your back toes. Take it to downward facing dog. Same little warm up start on the other side. Left leg high when you're ready. Give it a kick up. Breathe in. Hold open or closed hip. Your choice for 2 and 1. Slow, methodical, controlled step through to a lunge. Maybe you need to help that foot where it's going and drop all the way down to your back knee. Okay, knuckles down. Thumbs pushing into the ground here as well. So just kind of firing up that intensity on the left side of squeezing and leaning. Deeper into the left. You're going to feel a little compression right along the inner crease of your hip. And you'll know it when you get it because it starts to feel kind of dull and almost sort of like a little achy. Just shutting down some blood flow there, and then we're going to let it open back up in a moment. It's that compression and release of a joint that helps it heal, right? It helps us to find an opportunity for fresh oxygenated blood to make its way where it needs to go. All right, press back, release a little bit, flex the toes. You can sink a little further back if you want to. 2, 1. Shift your weight forward. Inhale. Maybe you add some arms. Exhale. Hands come back down. Press back. Deep breath in. Fold and stretch on the left side. Inhale. Sweep. Up and open. Exhale. Hands down. Press back and fold. One more time. Inhale. There we go. Take it through to your lunge. Starting to warm up in here a little bit now. And some of these deeper compression postures actually will warm your body up faster than most things. Good. Exhale, hands down. Nice job. Now you're going to press back. Angle that heel in behind you. So remember, right heel's going to swing in because this one we're going to sit all the way down. Heel right in between your glutes. Mula bandha or pelvic floor zone there. A reminder to lift and engage all of those muscles. And then slowly sink deeper into your stretch on the left. That little lift from your heel is also adding a slight sort of elevation to your right or to your left thigh, pardon me. So that's creating naturally a deeper sensation for the hamstrings. You might find you don't need to add as much forward fold as you thought. Notice if you're clenching your teeth, if your jaw, your cheekbones are tight for no reason, just let that stuff go. 2, 1, inhale. Draw the chest up. Right hand is going to go back here toward this back diagonal corner of the mat. And then I'm going to lift and push. Nice big stretch. All the way down the left side. Open up. You might turn your heart up toward the sky so that it really feels like a heart opener. And then exhale, swing down. Come around to the front and lengthen. Fold deeper. So let's try to connect it to a 4-part breath. Inhale, up on 1. Exhale, push up and over on 2. Inhale, release down and angle around. 3, exhale, fold on 4. Couple more times. Inhale, we bring it up. Exhale, push, lengthen, stretch, nice and long. Back down, make that connection, heel between the glutes on 3. We come around and stretch again on 4. Last one, here we go. Bring it up. Push. Inhale, sit it back down. Exhale, fold. Hold the last one for 3, 2, a little bit deeper, and 1, gaze forward. Come up, shift your weight into your lunge, tuck your back toes, and take it to downward facing dog. Big breath in. Deep breath out. Right leg up high. Let's flow that, and we'll add a couple things onto the end. Exhale, step through. Lunge stays low. Now, if you want to hover off the ground, you sure can as you come up. It's really up to you. I'm enjoying staying on the mat today, but I'll let you pick and choose. Hands come down, hips go back. If you're hovering that knee, you can push both hips back there for pyramid, or you can drop it and join us half split, so not all the way back, just a little bit. Inhale, sweep it up again. 2. Exhale, take it down, press back, flex, and fold. 1 more time, forward. Inhale, all the way up to the lunge. Exhale, hands come down. Press back, breathe again right here. Good, now on your exhale, just sink all the way down. Heel underneath of you, fold further. Next inhale brings your chest up, left hand goes behind you. Exhale, push your hips up and open. Deep breath in, down. And exhale, come around. Try to find your right foot and fold. Again, chest up, breathe. Push, exhale. Down on your breath in. Fold on the breath out. We'll do it 1 more time. Inhale up. Put your left hand behind you. Exhale, push your heart, your hips, your whole body up and breathe. Drop it back down. And swing it around. 3, 2, and 1. Chest up. Now listen close. Just rock back a little bit so that you roll over that foot, and now it's just out from underneath of you. Leave it right there. Draw your right knee in. All right, so again, we just rolled off the foot. Left knee's going to stay right there. Right foot comes in, and now my left foot's just kind of tucked underneath. We'll take it around into a twist to the right side. So this is a modified version of Marichyasana B. In the full version of this pose, we put the left leg into lotus. And we just haven't done a lot of warm-ups for lotus. So if that's a comfortable position for you, you can do that. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Work more on the twist than anything else. 3, sit up tall, take a look around behind you. 2, 1 more time, full breath in, work the exhale, all the breath out. And 1. Release, just take a quick counter twist to the other side. Come back through the middle, and now we're going to swing this right leg behind us. Just into a little pinwheel pose here. So my right knee is now bent, my foot's back, kind of like pigeon, and we'll get there in a moment. This left side, you might push your heel forward a little bit so that it's more like your shin is already set for pigeon pose. Keep your little broken wing back here. That's why this posture is called Vakra Kapotasana, broken pigeon. And then work your hands to the left and walk them out a few steps. When you get to that spot where you can feel you have a nice big stretch in your spine and a little bit of a twist in your low back, stay right there and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift up, and just take your right arm overhead, stretch back. Exhale, both hands down and fold. Again, as close to the ground as you can get. 2 more times. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right hand down. So you feel that you've isolated your lats and your low back here. One more time. Reach up. Exhale, round the chest down. Hold it there. 2 and 1. And then just start walking your hands back around to center. When you're squared off, go ahead. Lift up your hips a little bit. Slide your right leg now fully back behind you into the full half pigeon. If you need to readjust, readjust. 2 collarbones over 2 hip bones, and out we go. Back down, and breathe. Now just know that this is one variation. If you would rather keep your chest up here, you can. Always feels good to stretch deeper into these low belly and frontal hip flexors, or you can bring your left hand to the front. Kind of in the middle of the pose, reach back with your right and do a little bit of quadricep stretching, kind of setting up the king pigeon sort of precursor of just opening up there, right down that patellar tendon line from the center of your thigh, split right down through the quads to the kneecap. If that feels good, you can always open your chest a little bit more to your right. You can take your left arm up. Ooh. Find your balance. If you're going for a full king pigeon, you can try to bind the hands. But again, let's not get too caught up in all the fancy, floofy stuff, because this is a grounding practice, right? So we don't want so many variations that are just more or less distraction. We want to feel every moment of where we're at with the posture. And we want to pay attention to, like we said earlier, everything that's basically going on below your sternum. We've had some heart opening and some extra bonus movement in there, and that's great, but that deep emotional release is going to come from the hips, certainly. From the psoas, and those deeper places in the body. Wherever you are at with this pigeon, give it another full breath out. And then as you press into your hands and inhale, rise, you should be able to tuck your right toes, swing your left leg up high behind you and shake it out. And that'll get us going right through our last round here. Keep that left leg up. Bend your knee, open your hip, do your thing here. 2 and 1. Take a big step through. Foot comes through and we start low lunge, or you're welcome to hover the knee. I'm going to keep it on the ground so you can come with me if you'd like. There we go. All the way up. It's a series of lunge and then hamstrings. Remember, hands down on 2. Press back on 3. We're not sitting all the way down. We're just staying up on top and folding half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana. 4. Good. Back into the lunge. Inhale. Arms come up. 1. Finding that 4-part movement again. 2. Adding the fold. Pressing back on 3. Lengthen. And fold deeper on 4. One more time. It's an inhale. Exhale. Down 2. Press back on 3. And this time on 4, sink all the way back until you sit down on your right heel. Hold Janu Shirshasana B. Two, 1. Inhale. Come on up. Right hand swings just back behind you. On the exhale, push. Lift those hips up. Open your heart. I'm going to scoot just a little bit here. Got some room. Take it down. 3. And stretch forward on 4. Again, inhale. 1. Swing the hand behind. 2. Push the hips up. 3. Sit back down and turn the chest forward. Fold deeper. On 4. Once more. Bring it up. Push and stretch. Sit it back down and swing it around. Get all that breath out, then just lift your chest up. All right, rock your weight back. You come off that heel. Left knee just bends right up to the chest. The feet should automatically end up right where they need to be. Right foot is tucked in. Modified version here of Marichasana. I think I said B earlier. This would be D. I'm sorry. B is a bind, but we're working a twist, so this is D. If you're not familiar with this pose, it's just a seated spinal twist. Don't get too caught up in what's happening with the legs. If you did make a lotus on the first side, you would pick that right foot up and put it in lotus here. But remember, we're really thinking more about twisting from the base of the spine up through the crown of the head, long on the inhale, rotating deeper on the exhale. 3, 2, 1. Let it go, take it around. Quick counter twist to the other side. Good. Come back to the middle, and now just swing this little left wing behind you. Right? If you want to wiggle your right foot forward a tad, the posture is called pinwheel because it's shaped kind of like that pinwheel, right? And then a little stretch forward just to feel the hips. See how that is going. If you need to make any adjustments, do it there, and then start walking those hands around to the right. Once you get into the twist, it should feel like you're going to try to drape your belly right over the edge of your thigh. And if you don't have a belly to drape over your thigh, well, then good for you. But most of us are going to feel a good squeeze on our tummy here. So that's what we're looking for. Again, finding that compression and release. Settling in for a few moments. All right. Come to your palms. Remember, you're going to fold, just let your elbows bend. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down to tap the mat for a minute. Then on the inhale, you just open up the left arm and rotate the chest. Good. Exhale, swing it back around and down. Keep going until you're out of breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Do it one more time. Bring it up. Some really good low back stuff right there. Exhale all the way down. Good. Stay on the hands and just walk them around to the front. Lift your hips up for a moment. And make a few little adjustments if need be. So for those of you people who are not incredibly open hipped, your right shin is probably more just like 45-degree angle across your mat. And your foot should be sort of what you're aiming your left hip bone for. If you're a really open hipped person, your shin is probably going to be way out here in front of you, and it'll be more 90 degrees in line with this front edge of your mat. Anywhere in between is fine. Forward version or upward version, whichever you'd like. Maybe you get time here for a little bit of everything. Option to add in king pigeon preparation of getting some quad stretching on the left. Remember to move your right hand into the middle of your mat. If you stay out here, you're going to feel all kinds of wonky. Give it about 2 or 3 more breaths. And then when you feel good, you're ready to release it, you should lift up and take it right back to a down dog. Right leg might get a quick shake out. Set both feet back down eventually for your final upside down breath of the practice here. And then step, hop, walk, jump, or float through to a seat. Take your legs out in front. Give them a little shake out. Okay, here's how we're going to end, kind of with a bang. We're going to take basically a move straight out of the Tibetan rites playbook here. This is one of the 5 Tibetan rites. It's a forward and backward movement where we're going to go from a reverse tabletop, so that's feet on the mat, where we push up, and we stretch open the front of the body, and then we lower down on the exhale, we come forward and touch the toes. We'll do that a few times, then we'll come down onto the back, we'll do a few leg lifts, and go right into Shavasana, okay? So, when you are ready, let's start. Hands behind, knees bent. Push into your feet, exhale, hips come up. Inhale as you lower the hips down. Exhale, shoot the feet forward, touch the toes. Again, bring it up, hands behind, that's the inhale, knees bent. Exhale, push. Finding that same 4 parts again. There's 2, lower the hips on 3, touch the toes on 4. Couple more, inhale, up to position 1. Push through, reverse tabletop position 2. Back down, hips on the ground, that's 3. Feet out front. 4. Once more. Take it up. And the knees. Exhale, push. Lower. Breathe in. Exhale, out to touch the toes. You stay right there. I'm going to turn to the side just for a space. And then roll with me now as you come through and down onto your back. Hollow out your belly and try to hold on as long as you possibly can. And hands can go behind your head, alongside your hips, or under your butt. You choose. Knees come up for a moment to get that going if that's where you're going to put them. And then extend 90 degrees. Exhale, lower as close to the ground as you can go without your low back popping up. Hold 3, 2, 1. Bring it back up for 3, 2, 1. Knees get a squeeze. Lift everything. Forehead in toward those kneecaps. And then relax. Find your hand position. Extend the legs up. Lower down. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up for 3, 2, 1. Lift and squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Couple more. Release. Find it and lower. First part. This is 1, 2, 3. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Come back up. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Last time. Relax and extend the legs up. Here we go. Lower down. 3. Push that low back into the ground. 2, Abdominals are tight. Yes? Yes. Bandhas are engaged. And 1. Hold. Hovering off the ground. 3, 2, 1. Back up for 3. Push. 2, 1. Knees in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Everything that you can. A little bit tighter. A little bit tighter. A little bit tighter. Right there. 2, 1. And you're done. Relax. Stretch your arms and legs out. Find your favorite place to rest. All right, that's about a 46-minute practice. Please give yourself at least a minute, if not 2, maybe 5 if you've got it, to fully relax your body and mind. Let yourself absorb what's happened in your practice. Soak up those benefits. Allow your breathing to find its own natural pace and rhythm once again. Simply remind yourself that for a few more moments here, there is nothing more important. There is nowhere else you need to be just at this exact moment. It's okay to take another breath, to exhale a few more times. It's okay to relax and let your guard down for a moment. Okay, I would encourage you, like I said, to stay here as long as you can. Also, know that most of the postures that we did today, not only are they great detoxifiers for the body, they're good grounding poses, they're also really good, especially those deep squeezing poses, for your immune system. So in the coming weeks, if you're feeling like you just need to be, working on that immune system, we all do. There's no way we can't benefit from that, right? Do some of those deep squeezes, or even just that little sequence that we did at the very end there, the forward fold and the lifting. Get a couple of rounds in, maybe a few leg lifts, pulling into that squeeze, finish with a twist. And that's a very simple little 5-minute practice you could do anytime you felt like you just need a boost. Thanks for hopping on with me today, guys. I'll see you on Wednesday, same time, noon right here. Bye. Namaste.